Good evening. Come on in. Come on into the Out of the Box Biz new format. Come on in. Like, we've got an entire room. We put the catering in the middle so people would go around it. So good evening to those of you, and there's not enough seats for everybody, so don't get grumpy with me because we're supposed to be standing and networking.
Okay.
So this is the formal part. Just for the history for the guests and any members that have come here for the very first time, I'm taking my glasses off because I said to Mary Smith, who's taking photos, it would be nice to have one shot where I'm not looking into the photograph while I'm speaking, but I'm not sure that's possible. And I said to her, I'm very vain, so it has to be done without my glasses.
I bet you're thinking something about you.
So she said to me, it would be good if you wore your contacts, and long story, I didn't. So anyway, I'm going to do some of it without my glasses just for Mary, and some with my glasses so I can read the screen and see your faces, basically. So good evening. To those of you who are new as guests and also members who have been here for the first time, this is a new format. Normally we walk into a room twice this size and it was all completely decked out with theatre-style seats and a stage for the speaker. So this is what I'm calling a more social networking format, and I feel a little drunk without being able to see clearly, so I'm just going to put that back on because I'm not drunk. And so this is a more informal social networking event. Instead of 3.5 hours from 6 till 9:30, it's 6 till 8. I've been taking note of a lot of feedback that I received through the member surveys, and consistently a lot of members are saying it is a very late event. And I know it is, but frankly, none of you would show up if I started at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I don't want you to leave your income-generating activities to come here. I'd rather do it at 6 p.m. when you are not doing that kind of thing generally. So that's the motivation. The motivation is also just to mix things up because we've been running for about 2.5 years with two different styles of events, the 3.5 hour speaker event and the parties, which were in July and December. So this is a social networking format for August. It's the first time we've done it, so I'm sure I'll get a lot of feedback. If you want to give me feedback tonight, you're more than welcome to. I will not retain the information. It's not because I'm being rude. I just won't remember it. If you would like feedback for me to remember, please either email it, text message it to me, or during a meeting face-to-face other than tonight, because I've just got a lot running through my mind. And the reason why I'm walking around tonight holding a sheet of paper with a bunch of names on is because a big motivating reason why I'm doing this social networking format is so we can move around the room, so I can move around the room. And who was it that I just went to? Where's Franco? He's right here on cue. It's like, we rehearsed that. And I'm like, Franco, come with me. And I marched him across the room to, who was it that I was connecting you with? With Rob. So I thought these guys would be like-minded, they'd have a few things that they may be able to assist each other with, so I connected them. So this is an extension of the connection emails that I send you to make sure you're actually meeting face-to-face, and it's more fun face-to-face as well. So I can't do that as well, moving through a room full of seats, because it's just impossible. So that is also the major reason for this change of format, is so I can actually connect you better. So we're only going to run to 8 p.m. tonight. Yay! For everyone who's knackered, which is most of us because it's August. And we did have registrations of 48, but we have had the flus, we've had all kinds of children very ill, and that's the reason why our numbers are the way they are, and it's called August and still winter. So I think that's just the way it goes in Perth for those sorts of things. So let's move right along. So I stay on time. This was to get your attention in case you were being noisy. So social networking, that's what I've just mentioned. I'd just like to acknowledge our venue partners being Cliftons. We are moving around the building because they are renovating their level 4 and ground floor levels, which is where they normally are. So we're going to be up here, I think, for 3 months. I think that's the plan. So don't be surprised if it's 6 months. So, this is the agenda for this evening. You've already been networking, in case you hadn't realised. So we're going to just do a little short formal part, which should end around 7. And if we're late, that's because I'm talking too much. We normally have a member showcase. I was going to do a farewell. Unfortunately, that person isn't able to be here due to a serious family illness, but I'll explain that when that time comes. And I think that's a little bit out of order. So what are the Box Biz? For the benefit of those who aren't so familiar with us, we provide experienced business professionals and exclusive business community to connect, to achieve excellence by being the very best in what they do. So that's what we're all about. We're interested in providing world-class customer service, and that's what the actual connections are all about for you. And I've already explained why I'm walking around with a sheet of paper. It's not because I've forgotten all your names. It's just when I've got, 40-odd people in the room, I just get so excited. My mind goes blank, and I'm like, I had all these plans of connecting different people, and then I look at you and go, who was I going to connect you with? So that's why I've written it down, to make sure it happens. So that's about us actively connecting you more than what we have done in the past. So we're all about face-to-face communication, because although all the technology and all the sexy stuff you can do online, frankly, you cannot convert to the same way, you cannot make the same meaningful relationships you can face-to-face. And we're in an age, I truly believe, we need to do more of this than ever before. However, it is becoming increasingly challenging to do this. So it's kind of almost a damned if you do and a damned if you don't. But if you're a believer, you'll be committed and you'll be here. Because I truly believe this is where the long-term business partnerships, relationships, joint ventures, whatever you want to call them, this is how it happens, face-to-face. So we're all about providing you some education, some networking, so you can grow in business. And also as a person, that's why I refer to our The Box Biz as a business community. So just before I go on to all about you, I just want to quickly run through. August is social networking for the theme. September is the expert guest speaker, the normal format that everyone's familiar with the stage, the lights, the guest speaker from interstate, the bells and whistles, and it's fantastic. It's just a different mood. It's normally just a different mood. Okay, so that's in September. We have social networking, I'm running out of the months, is October and November. And then we have the party for the end of the year in December with our keynote speaker, Shelley Taylor-Smith. Our expert guest speaker for September is John Bellamy, coming over from the East Coast, and I'll share what his focus is at the end of this meeting. So that's enough about us. So feel free to provide me feedback on your thoughts on what the plan is, because basically we've got 3 months to decide if we're going to continue like this. If we do, in that, the way I know this is working is by how many people are here. If numbers are consistent and they're not sliding, I will plan a full-day conference in May next year with 3 expert guest speakers for us. But I can't do that. The reason why we no longer have the November speaker, he was flying in at his own expense from LA. I needed a minimum 50 people in the room. We haven't had 50 people in the room for 4 months. And I'm not telling you off or anything. In business, I have certain standards. I could not have faced that speaker if he walked into this room with 20 people. And I would lose all credibility. The box would lose credibility. At the moment, his staff and his team are open to a conversation for coming in 2017. So I'd much rather do that, nurture that relationship, and get him when we've got 100 people in the room for the all-day conference, perhaps. That's just a plan. That's just an idea I've come up with. I'm not saying that's the answer, but if you think it's a good idea, I'd appreciate you letting me know. That's all. Okay? And if you've got other ideas, like, I can't remember who it was, someone suggested, I think it was Alex, suggested catering be in the middle. And I just went, let's try that. I think that's a good idea. So we're trying it out. So I'm open to feedback. Okay? That's enough about all of that. If you've got any questions tonight, I'm more than happy to answer them. So all about you. Share with those next to you or near you, and that is seriously small font. Share with the people around you your name, your business, and do you actively connect those you know in business? Go.
You're the guest. Your name again? Yeah, a few.
So you're going to have more than enough time to network and continue those conversations, because tonight is all about networking. I'd just like to acknowledge a key part of the Out of the Box team. Unfortunately, she can't be here tonight for a serious family illness. It's Pam Accurso, who was our master networker. Now, Pam has come to me. She and I had a meeting. Her whole purpose in life is health and well-being. She has had a couple of opportunities come to her, which are a great match for her. And she is one of the most loyal people you'll ever meet, and she was trying to do everything. And I knew it, she knew it, we sat down, we had a champagne, and we said, I think the time has come for there to be a change. And that was initiated by Pam. So I might get emotional, so film it so she knows. No, seriously. She has been an absolute rock and a fantastic part of the team. And if she was here, I know she would be hugging me. So Pam, shame on you for not being here. I say that with all love. So make sure next time you see her out networking, just acknowledge what you felt of her as a role in Master Networker. But that's what life is like. Sincerely, the opportunities she has is a fantastic match for her. And since she made the decision, we made the decision together, she's just gone, she's super focused, and it's all rocking and rolling for her. And that's all we can ask for her. And that's what it's all about us all growing in business together. So that's exactly what's happened to her. Unfortunately, it's taken her away from us, but hey-ho. So anyway, I just want to acknowledge Pam because she has been a fantastic part of the Out of the Box team, and I wanted to acknowledge her publicly so there was no gossip or anything, not by people in this room, but just out in the broader community in Perth, because Perth's a small town, to make it really clear that this was a very adult, grown-up decision by all parties and to the benefit of Pam. Okay? Yeah. So, moving right along, this is normally our spot for our 5-minute showcases. And I made the decision this evening, once Pam had resigned, not to do 5-minute showcases to honour her. Now, what happened today with illness was something that no one could predict. So I also just left this here because if you're interested in doing a 5-minute showcase for as a member, then please come and talk to me because you're able to access that. If you are gold, platinum and infinity level. Now, some members at those levels never want to do a 5-minute showcase, and that's okay. You don't have to, but it is an option to those level members. So please come and ask me questions if you're interested, because it is filmed and you do get the video footage for your use to promote yourself. And Mary, I hope you've got some photos because I'm putting my glasses back on. And Mary is one of our members as well as a professional photographer. So, Out of the Box Thinkers, I'm just going to speak very briefly about the membership for the people who are new to Out of the Box, and it's just going to be a quick whiz through. And this is really where I really like to highlight members. If you haven't done your survey, please do it, because it makes me able to assist you at a deeper level. And if you're confused by it, then book a face-to-face with me, and I'll do it with you face-to-face. So just out of the box membership, we have a number of membership levels. Publicly, we only advertise the bronze, silver, gold. Silver basically gets you in the room. Bronze is for people who are outside metro area in Western Australia. So that we do have a community of members that are outside Perth metro area. So that's a bronze level. Silver level, you get in the room. We don't do a membership fee and then you pay for the events. You get it all together. If you're not able to attend, then you can send someone in your place. And we do film every event. So the footage, like tonight, we're only filming, obviously, the presentations. We're not filming you networking. I mean, we do a little bit of that. But basically, we make sure the educational part of the events that you have access to, and that is exclusive for Out of the Box members. And, that's right. For Platinum, we have a new group mentoring program because some people really want to get into the mentoring, monthly mentoring, but they feel the one-to-one pricing is a little out of reach. So we've created a group mentoring program. So if you're interested in that, please come and let me know. And basically, if you want to do a business tip because someone's about to, then that's infinity level. So again, come and ask me questions if that's of interest to you. But before we get to that person,